What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment any questions you have throughout this video down in the comment section below, and I will make sure that I respond to you when available. Follow me on Twitter at Cam_ATL. That is the best way to get in touch with me, honestly. If you have any questions about the slate at any time, I am always on there. I have my notifications set up so it's like a text when you comment to me or when you DM me or whatever. So this is the week 3 final look. Okay, we dropped the video on Tuesday. It's just been by myself, by the way. We dropped the video on Tuesday after Monday Night Football where we were aware of the injuries and we were ready to go. We went ahead and recorded that video on Tuesday. There have been some things that have popped up, some value that's popped up, and I really want to make sure you guys are aware and ready to go. Go to greenlightdfs.com if you want to join the squad and really not worry about shit and just, you know, dominate either way. Go to greenlightdfs.com. Drop a like on the video down below, man. Let's get over 200 likes. I know you guys can do it. Easy peasy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button so you get reminded when I do go live. And make sure you stay on this channel because I do giveaways all the time. So make sure you follow my Twitter at Cam_ATL where I do a lot of giveaways as well. I appreciate you guys for watching. Now let's get right into this. We're going to go through the entire slate one more time, just kind of briefly touching on things, maybe touching on things we might have missed in the earlier video, making sure you guys are aware of everything. So let's start at quarterback. Now, my favorite quarterback overall, okay, is probably Patrick Mahomes at 7,000. I love Matt Ryan. I love Drew Brees. I love that game, okay? Kansas City's offense has just been so good. Vegas has them at 30.7 points, okay? So they have their total pretty high. It's only about a 6-point spread, so it's fairly close to where Kansas City isn't going to have to, like, you know, change their game plan up for being up too much or whatever. I really, really love Patrick Mahomes at 7,000. Now, here's the reason why I'm getting more and more comfortable with going ahead and paying up for a guy like Mahomes at 7,000 instead of just going at Matt Ryan. I know Matt Ryan is in a great position, and I would definitely be like, oh yeah, lock Matt Ryan, and I still love Matt Ryan. There is a ton of running back value this week, okay? That is something, that is the key to success in your lineups this week is getting that running back value. Okay, so lock in the running back value. That will allow you to get some good, solid receivers and pair them with some top QBs and have a very balanced lineup with the value being in great positions that they're in. But anyways, Patrick Mahomes, I'm liking him more and more with all of this value that has opened up. Kirk Cousins, I'm not loving the game. I know Vegas has them scoring a lot of runs. I mean, a lot of points. Sorry. I know Vegas has Minnesota scoring a lot of points here. Here's the problem with that, though, is Buffalo is so bad that they shouldn't put up much of a fight. I love Latavius Murray, and we'll get to that soon. Dalvin Cook has been ruled out. Latavius Murray is amazing value on this slate. But we will get into that. I'm not interested in Kirk Cousins, 200 less than Mahomes, in what shouldn't be a competitive game. Jimmy Garoppolo, I do like him. Okay, he hasn't been a great DFS quarterback to date. I mean, he hasn't done anything crazy. Oh, sorry, I don't know what the hell that was about. He hasn't done anything crazy. He's in a great position here against Kansas City, though. Okay, he got 12 versus Minnesota, which is understandable. Minnesota is one of the best defenses in the league. And then a 16 versus Detroit, which was definitely a letdown because Detroit is not good. Going against Kansas City, who's been giving up a lot of points to quarterbacks, though, this is a great situation for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think a lot of people will be off of him. I don't think he's a cash game play. I think he's a GPP play because he's going to be a low-owned option in what should be a game where he should be behind and should be airing the ball out. So Jimmy Garoppolo at 6'5". Drew Brees, you guys know my feelings on this. I love this game in general. I talked about him on Tuesday. Matt Ryan and Drew Brees are in play for me in cash. I like both of them in cash. I like pretty much all the players in this game for cash. Tevin Coleman, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Michael Thomas. Those are the main. Alvin Kamara, obviously, are the main guys. But like I said, the problem with Alvin Kamara is there's so much running back value on this slate. There's really no reason to spend all that money on a running back. And we'll touch on that a little more. But Drew Brees is a great play at 6'4". Carson Wentz making his debut against the Colts, man. He's making his debut against a bad defense. So this should be a good spot for Carson Wentz, okay? I would only keep him in GPPs. I wouldn't play him in any cash games. Let's see how he does. You know, he might be a little rusty. So let's let him come in and see how he does. Deshaun Watson against a bad Giants team. The only thing I worry about here is, can the Giants keep this close? Can the Giants score with Deshaun Watson to make it so Deshaun Watson has to continue to throw? You know, Lamar Miller is probably a very solid option this week that a lot of people are not going to be playing. But with the game script, I absolutely love Lamar Miller. I love Deshaun Watson. Eli Apple is out for the Giants, so that's a lot of easy throw and catch. Sorry, I just drank some water. So I like that. Cam Newton, I love the way, I love playing guys that can get it on the ground as well. I absolutely love it. Cam Newton's at home in Carolina against the Cincinnati Bengals defense that hasn't been stellar this year. So I like Cam Newton. Alex Smith at home in Washington going against Green Bay. This is a spot I really like at 5'8". Obviously, I like Matt Ryan more at 100 less. But Alex Smith at home in Washington going against Green Bay is a great spot because Green Bay, you know, is going to score. And you know that Alex Smith is going to have to throw to keep up. And he's at home. So I like this situation a lot for Alex Smith. I think he gets slept on. Jared Goff is a decent option as well. Pair him up with some Cooper Kupp. I always love Cooper Kupp in cash. He's very, very consistent quarterback. Wide receiver. I'm not playing Russell Wilson at all versus Dallas. Honestly, you guys can play him in GPP if you want to, just because it's super risky and off the wall. But Russell Wilson just has not looked good. That Seattle offensive line is not good. I'm not loving it. I'm going to just skim through these guys. Matt Ryan, love him against New Orleans. You guys know that. He is definitely in play at cash. I love him. Blake Bortles against Tennessee is a fine play, but Tennessee should struggle to score on Jacksonville, forcing Blake Bortles to not have to throw too much. Definitely pay attention to whether Fournette's going to play or not. He is still questionable at this point. Andrew Luck against Philly is a decent option because I honestly feel like Wentz comes back and does okay. Forcing Andrew Luck to have to air the ball out. I like Andrew Luck. I like T.Y. Hilton. And I love Jordan Wilkins with Marlon Mack out. Jordan Wilkins is a very, very cheap value flyer. He's not super, super safe, but he's a good, solid flyer in a situation where he should get a good amount of carries there. All right? And that's really all the guys I really care to touch on too much. All these other guys I'm not interested in playing at all, and you guys should not be as well. Okay, at running back is where all of the value is, and we will get down to these value guys, and I will touch on them as we go. Obviously, at the top here, you got Alvin Kamara, Todd Gurley. As I said before, there's really no reason to spend this on at running back this week. I'm telling you, you really, really, really want to go with the running backs that are value this week because that is where all of the value is this week. You really want to spend down at running back. You don't need to spend a ton of money at running back. Go ahead and get the big dogs at receiver and those other positions that you like. Okay? Now, Ezekiel Elliott is not too much in play for me against Seattle. I'm not loving him at 7-7. There's better options around there. Christian McCaffrey against Cincinnati is a solid option. I love this. I think this game is a slept-on game in general. I think it stays close. I think both offenses are able to score. I think McCaffrey could definitely be slept on this week because of the running back value. And like I said, I'm not too much on McCaffrey because there's so much running back value. Okay? Saquon Barkley against Houston. I like this situation for Saquon Barkley. It's a good matchup. Here's the problem. Here's the thing. The Giants' offensive line is so bad that Saquon is going to struggle to get many yards between the tackles. The good part is they're so bad, the offensive line is so bad that they're putting pressure on Eli quickly, making him force the ball out and throw it to Saquon Barkley on those little short routes that he runs. Okay, that's a good thing for Saquon, seeing his Draftkings is PPR. Okay, so I love that. Now let's go to a guy that I really like this week. I want to touch on him real quick. He's kind of in a Jordan Howard at 6'5". I like his situation here, man, because Arizona has been just so bad. And there's nobody really taking away carries from Jordan Howard. I think he's a guy that's not going to be focused on too much this week. I think he's a low-owned type of dude. But Adrian Peterson dropped 23. Todd Gurley dropped 32. Now, Jordan Howard's not Todd Gurley, but I do think Jordan Howard's better than Adrian Peterson at this point in Adrian Peterson's career. So Jordan Howard could be a good option here at 6'5" against Arizona. Another guy I want to touch on. Kareem Hunt seems too cheap in what is a huge offensive team right here. This game in general is very, very, very offensive. There's a lot of offense, not much defense here. Kareem Hunt's in a great spot at 6,000. Okay, that price when I saw it was like, man, that is low. They are tempting us. Okay, Kareem Hunt hasn't had any of those huge games that he showed he was capable of last year. And don't forget how consistent and solid he was when they were getting him involved in the beginning of that year last year. Okay, Kareem Hunt was a beast. He was one of the top running backs in the league for like 4 or 5 weeks. So he was doing very, very, very well. And in a matchup against San Francisco, I like this. San Francisco really hasn't seen any competition really when it comes to running backs. I mean, when it comes to like top-notch running backs, the best running back they've seen this year so far is Dalvin Cook. And Dalvin got 14 on him. Kareem Hunt is very, very good. He can get involved in the passing game is what I love a lot about Kareem Hunt. I'm hoping they get him involved in this pass game here in this game. But 6,000, don't sleep on Kareem Hunt. I love him. As I said before in the last video, Chris Thompson's still in my sights at 6'3". I love him. Man, the game script here just seems like it is a Chris Thompson game here. Okay, Green Bay's going to score. We know their offense. They're going to score. Chris Thompson's damn near their best receiver on Washington. So expect Alex Smith to get him heavily involved. I love Chris Thompson here in that matchup. Now, let's touch on some other guys. Now, one of the guys I mentioned just a little bit ago, I wanted to make sure you guys are on. Latavius Murray at 5'8" is a very good play. Now, here's the question. Giovanni Bernard without Joe Mixon against Carolina, or Latavius Murray without Dalvin Cook against Buffalo? Now, here's my thought process on this. Giovanni Bernard is more of the pass-catching back between the two. Latavius can catch passes, but Giovanni's more of the pass-catching back, and we know DK is PPR. Here's the issue that really makes it tough on me, though. Minnesota has a high point total. Okay, they're expected to score a lot. They're against Buffalo, who is atrocious. So here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Minnesota gets up here, and Latavius Murray gets all the carries he can handle. Okay, I really think Latavius Murray gets all of the carries he can handle. And when he has gotten the carries that he needs through his career, he has showed up. Okay, Latavius Murray is in a great spot here against Buffalo. Okay, Buffalo's ranked 31st in the league. They allow a touchdown a game at least to running backs over their last 9 games. Okay, now here's the thing. Latavius Murray is 5'8", and I think he gets in the end zone. Probably, I'm going to say there's a 90% chance that he scores a touchdown here. And there's a very good chance he could even get over 100 rushing yards. I love Latavius Murray. I think I'm leaning him slightly over Gio. Even though Gio's the more pass-catching back, I'm leaning Latavius a little more over Gio here just because of the matchup and how many carries he should be getting here on a team where there's not much running back competition behind him. There were some guys that showed up and did well during the preseason, but those guys might be inactive in this game as well. So Latavius is going to get a lot of touches. Do not sleep on Latavius Murray. Also, a guy I haven't heard many people talking about this week, but you guys do not need to forget Tevin Coleman at home in Atlanta going against New Orleans. Amazing matchup for Tevin Coleman here against New Orleans. And don't forget, Devontae Freeman is out. This is the Tevin Coleman show. And at 6'4", I feel like something is telling me he's going to be much lower owned than he has been the last week. Okay, last week he was a high-owned running back because no Devontae Freeman, which makes sense in this high-powered Atlanta offense. This week, it seems like he's going to be very low owned. So in GPPs, he could be a sneaky play at 6'4". Okay? Now, Corey Clement. Jay Ajayi is officially ruled out. Darren Sproles is also out. Corey Clement's in a great spot here. He's got his quarterback back with Wentz. I like this situation here for Clement. He's my favorite value on the slate. Okay, at 4-3, he is my favorite value on the slate for sure. I mean, great matchup against the Colts. I absolutely love it. All right. At 4-3, do not sleep on Corey Clement. He's one of the main values of the slate. He's probably going to be a chalky value. Definitely get involved. Okay. I mentioned Lamar Miller earlier, so I'm not going to get on him too much. Matt Breida is still in play at 5-4. Like we talked about in the video, Jordan Wilkins. Let me go ahead and put him on here. Like I said, Marlon Mack will be out for the Colts. Now, Philly's front line is pretty stout, okay? So I'm not seeing a huge game out of Wilkins. But I see a solid little floor here with the amount of carries he should be getting. I know he's going to be splitting with Hines, but he is a solid option due to that price, 3.7. Okay, anybody looking for a punt play? I think Wilkins is your guy at 3.7. He's a guy that should be getting some good amount of carries here. I think he's better than Hines, period. And I think he definitely needs to, people need to take a look at him at 3.7. Okay, do not sleep on Hines. Do not sleep on Jordan Wilkins at 3.7. You definitely want to get some exposure to him, especially in GPP, to open up some huge plays. All right? And that's about it, man. We've talked about all the good running backs. Let's go ahead and talk about some receivers now. Now, with all of that running back value, like I said, save your money at running back this week. With all that running back value, you have your pick of the litter here, okay? Michael Thomas against Atlanta, obviously an amazing play. I love Tyreek Hill. With all of the savings, there's no reason you can't pair Mahomes with Tyreek, okay? If you happen to be struggling with money, Mahomes and Sammy Watkins is an okay pairing. Save some money that way. Mahomes and Kelsey is a fine pairing. That's also saving money from Mahomes and Tyreek. I know Sherman's a solid cornerback, but he can't keep up with Tyreek Hill, okay? And he's going to be, Tyreek is moved all around the field. He gets handoffs, all that. He's all over the place. Sherman's not going to be moving that much. Okay, so Tyreek Hill's a great play, and I like the pairing of him with Mahomes for sure. With all of this value on the slate, like I said, it has made me more, it makes me happier to go up to Mahomes now with all of this running back value that we have than I was previously. When I was first looking at the slate, I was like, okay, there is some running back value, but not as, there wasn't as crazy as value, okay? Here's the thing, like, I love Matt Ryan and Julio connection. I still love that pairing a lot for cash games. I still love that pairing, don't get me wrong. Kansas City's the top total on the day, and I understand why. It is a fantastic matchup, and they're at home in Kansas City. I think Mahomes keeps it rolling here. And in cash games, it's very safe to go with Mahomes and Tyreek or Mahomes and Kelsey type of combination. DeAndre Hopkins, like I said, Eli Apple is out for the Giants. DeAndre Hopkins is in an amazing position for Houston. I think he is going to be a beast this week at 8-3. I love DeAndre Hopkins. Odell Beckham Jr. against Houston. Giants are going to have to throw a lot to keep up here with Houston. I'm not loving it because, like I said, that offensive line has given Eli Manning some struggles, man. So I'm not loving it. Julio Jones, I'm definitely over Odell with at 7-9. Like I said, I love Julio Jones here in this matchup. Adam Thielen, like I said, man, I'm more interested in Latavius Murray than anybody in this game. Okay, I'm more interested in Latavius Murray. It's going to be a Latavius game. I think he gets a ton of runs, a ton of carries. I think he's amazing value this week. Staying with Stephon Diggs, we're just going to scroll through here. T.Y. Hilton against Philly. I'm very interested in getting some exposure to him. I'm not getting much exposure to Emmanuel Sanders at all. Nelson Aguilar has been getting some good value. Also, my uncle mentioned Kamar Aiken in the video on Tuesday. He was great value until Jordan Matthews got picked up by Philly and will be playing with Carson Wentz. They're good with each other. And if Jordan Matthews is still on your waiver wire in your season-long league, I suggest you pick him up just to see how it goes. They have shown that they have chemistry with each other. I would definitely pick up Jordan Matthews just to see how that ends up working out. Okay, so he should still be on the waiver wire unless somebody already scooped him when they heard he got re-signed. Okay? Will Fuller. Now, what's interesting to me about Will Fuller is Will Fuller's always been known as the receiver who he's going to catch a bomb maybe, and he's really bomb dependent. He's really touchdown dependent type of dude. You really hope he gets in the end zone. If he doesn't get many targets. He got some targets. He has got some targets last week, guys. Okay? He had got 9 targets last week. 8 receptions, 113 yards. That's not That's not touchdown dependent at all. Okay, he is getting targets in this offense. And like I said, Eli Apple is out. So the guy who can't even pass Eli Apple, who is not very good, that guy who's even worse is going to have to try to contain these receivers for Houston, and I don't see it happening at all. I think in GPP, I think Will Fuller's an amazing option. I think DeAndre Hopkins is great in GPP as well, seeing that I think they're going to be the lower-owned guys. Keelan Cole. I'm interested in some Keelan Cole if Leonard Fournette is officially ruled out. He is still questionable at this point of this video. If Leonard Fournette is ruled out, I love Keelan Cole. Okay, let's go ahead and keep touching on some guys. Ted Ginn Jr., we know what we get out of him. He's a GPP guy. He definitely is touchdown dependent. He doesn't get a ton of targets in that offense. Cooper Kupp is a guy I really like. There he is at 4.9. Cooper Kupp is a guy I like. I think this game stays fairly close here. I think his price is way too low for a guy that's just super consistent. Okay, he's going to get you right around 15 DraftKings points. Okay, that's what he averages, around 15 DraftKings points, and this is a good matchup here. I love Cooper Kupp, and I don't know why his price is so low. I'm definitely on him. Tyler Boyd is a guy that is 3.7. He's got a lot of attention because of what he did last week. He got 9 targets last week, which is huge, okay? That is huge against a Baltimore defense that is solid. That is definitely huge. Now he's going to be matched up with Captain Munnerlyn, which is a solid matchup for him as well. At 3.7, I like Tyler Boyd. If you need that value at receiver, like I said, take all of the value you can at running back. That is what this week is about. Playing that value at running back and getting those right spend up receivers, okay? But I will touch on some other guys. Let's go ahead and touch on Randall Cobb. Is another guy I'm interested in. He's right up here. There he is at 5.2. Randall Cobb. Now, week 1, Randall Cobb got 10 targets, 9 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. It looked like him and Aaron Rodgers were finally back together. It looked like they were just going to have an amazing year. Boom, just off the bat. We know what Randall Cobb is capable of, first of all. I get that he's aging, but the dude's still a tremendous athlete. He's still a beast, and he still has Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to him, period. Okay? My grandma would have an amazing year with Aaron Rodgers throwing her the ball, okay? Randall Cobb is slept on, okay? I'm going to say that right now. He is going to be slept on heavily. This Green Bay offense will score on Washington. They will score. And Washington is not a slouch, okay? They will score on Green Bay. I think this game is going to be a decent game. And against Fabian Moreau, I think I'm saying his name right, for Washington, the cornerback, he's 85th in the league ranked cornerback, okay? Good matchup for Randall Cobb out of the slot here. Man, I mean, here's how I'm looking at it. He dropped 32 against Chicago, got a ton of targets. Against Minnesota, one of the best defenses in the league, he got held fairly in check. And if getting held in check by the best defense is a 7, I think against a defense like Washington, I think he's in an amazing position here. And in GPP, I would definitely get some exposure to Randall Cobb. I get exposure to the Green Bay offense in general because a lot of people will be off of that, okay? So Randall Cobb, I wanted to make sure I made that clear. Sammy Watkins at 5.1 is definitely in play. Like I said, if you need some money savings, I'm fine with pairing like Mahomes with Sammy Watkins. Or if you want some cheap guys out of the Kansas City game, but you don't want to go crazy with it, then go some Sammy Watkins. That's fine. Sammy is in a good spot here. I like him. Any other cheap guys I want to touch on? Like I said, I'm not as interested in Kamar Aiken with Jordan Matthews being re-signed. If anything was to happen and Jordan Matthews was to be announced that he's not going to play, then yeah, Kamar Aiken will be fine. Nelson Aguilar, cool. Jordan Matthews was re-signed though, and Carson Wentz already knows him, so he should feel comfortable with him. So I'm not too interested in Kamar Aiken anymore. And that's about it, guys, for wide receivers. I wouldn't be too interested in playing too many other guys. Maybe Calvin Ridley at 3.7 for Atlanta. Calvin Ridley, like I said, he's on an offense that just throws the ball a lot. This is a good game. Should stay close. Should be fairly high scoring. And this is a young dude who finally caught his first touchdown of his NFL career. And he still is only 3.7. Like I said, he could end up getting in the end zone here. And at 3.7, if he gets in the end zone, thank you. I'm happy. Okay, so as a GPP guy, I'm fine with that. If you want to take a chance on Tavon breaking a big one, you can at 3.6. But like I said, all these guys I'm mentioning now are just GPP only. All right, let's go ahead and touch on some tight ends real quick, guys. Let's touch on some tight ends. Now, obviously, Zach Ertz and Kelsey are by far the greatest options on this slate. Okay, I love Zach Ertz with Wentz back. I love Kelsey. It just depends. If you're going Mahomes, you got to go Kelsey. If you're going Mahomes, you have to go Kelsey. If you're going another route, you really can go either way. You can flip a coin. Kansas City is the higher. They're expected to score more points, and they're against San Francisco. Zach Ertz is against the Colts. I love that matchup, man, for Zach Ertz. Man, I love that matchup. But Travis Kelce is also in a great position. So that's a toss-up if you want to end up spending up at tight end. Those two are by far the greatest options, and I've already talked about them before. Now, a guy I really wanted to touch on is Eric Ebron. Jack Doyle has been ruled out. Jack Doyle is ruled out. Eric Ebron will be the main receiver for the Colts, okay? Ebron has gotten a touchdown in both of the first 2 weeks of the season. Eric Ebron is a great choice here. O.J. Howard in week 2 with Fitzmagic put up 18.6 DraftKings points. Eric Ebron is in an amazing position here at 3-4. I think he might be a little slept on with those other tight end options like I mentioned before. But without Jack Doyle, with Andrew Luck, who loves to target his tight end, Eric Ebron is a great option here, okay? I expect him to get in the end zone once again. He is a great option at 3-4. I wanted to make sure I mentioned him to you guys. You can play some Trey Burton. You can play George Kittle, obviously, at 4-5. But with Eric Ebron at 3-4, I'd probably prefer Ebron over Kittle. Philly struggles against tight ends, okay? They struggle against tight ends. So Eric Ebron's going to get a heavy dose of targets, okay? Will Dissly, if you want to play some Will Dissly, in GPP, I wouldn't go in cash, but in GPP, I'd be fine with taking that against Dallas. I'm fine with that. He's been good the first 2 weeks, man. It's time to, stop sleeping. That offensive line is not that good. It would make sense to keep Dissly. Dissly is known for his blocking, not his receiving. It would make sense for them to keep him back and help block. But they're using him a lot as a receiver right now. And if they keep doing that, it's really opening him up. And he's having a good season so far. Will Dissly at 3-3 is fine. But once again, Eric Ebron, I like more at 3-4. Okay? You can go Benjamin Watson, but he's old. And he's 3-1. Like I said, I would rather Eric Ebron here in this matchup as well. And that's about it, guys. Honestly, I'm not getting too cute here at tight end. You either have the money and you go Ertz and Kelsey, or you go Eric Ebron. Kittle is in play as well. And that's really where I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay with Ebron, Kittle, or pay up for Ertz and Kelsey. I love those 4 guys, okay? If you have the money, go ahead and spend up for those guys. I'd prefer to just go Ebron and use that money on my receivers. Okay, my receivers. I would much rather that. I'm totally fine with all the running back value we have on this slate. I'm totally fine with throwing a running back in flex too. Okay? I'm totally fine with that. DraftKings is PPR. So get receivers that get highly targeted, are in great matchups. Okay? Spend up on those guys. There is great running back value today. I feel like I got to say it again. Make sure you remember that this weekend, there's ton of running back value. Take that running back value, spend up on those receivers who get highly targeted and who are going to get a lot of catches. Play a running back in that flex. Eric Ebron is great value at tight end. The Bears are my favorite defense. If you can spend up and get the Vikings, the Vikings are going to fucking smash, but it doesn't matter either way. You can go either way. If you have money left over, go Vikes. If you don't, go Bears. Okay? Just all about the roster construction. Go to greenlightdfs.com to join the squad. Good luck, everybody. I hope you kill it. Any questions you guys have for me, comment down below or hit me up on Twitter at CamATL. Make sure you drop a like on the video before you head out, man. Thank you guys for watching as always, and good luck this weekend. Greenlightdfs.com. Let's get it. I'm out.